So welcome back, and in the previous video, got on the Facebook Marketplace and saw a laptop that was smashed pretty good, screen was not working, got it for $20, and while on that adventure, I almost got stuck and went through some ruts and, my suspension, it had a hard time. But anyways, I'll post a link to that video if you're interested in seeing it. When we got back to the garage, the laptop works pretty much perfect, almost, minus the screen being messed up. And I've been using the laptop for about a little over 2 weeks, just the way it's set up, running the HDMI port so I can use it on my screen. And the laptop works really good. It's actually spiffy. It only has 8 gigs of DDR4, 256 gig hard drive, and it has, I think it was i5 10th gen, one of those complicated numbers I can't keep up with, but I'm actually impressed with the way the laptop works. And it's one of those flip ones with the touch screen, so it's actually a pretty decent laptop. And then looking at what they sell for, anyway, on the low end from $250 just to $400 depending on conditions. So in this video, we're gonna go ahead and fix the overheating issue, which I'm gonna show you right now. Fix the screen, fix the bottom part, make it look better-ish than it was, and see if it was worth it. So let's dive in. So this is our laptop. Let's get a little light over here. And as you can see, yeah, she took a hit, all jacked up over here, scrambly, and it's got a little dent on the bottom. Yeah, and it's missing this piece. I did order this piece. Hopefully it should be in later today so we could actually finish this thing properly. But looking at the screen, she's running hot. So we're at 61, and as you can see, the temperatures are just spiking all over the place. We got 86 right now, and I'm not doing anything with this. It's just sitting there idle. Spikes to 82, 87, 88, 100 degrees Celsius, and this is just idle. I think the only thing I did do was download Cinebench and hardware monitor, but what I'm gonna go ahead and do is just run Cinebench, watch it spike up super quick, just so we could get a little before and after. So let's hit start. Folks, look at those temperatures. 97, 98, yeah, pretty bad. So let's shut this thing down, open this thing up, and see if we can get these temperatures a lot better. So in the previous video, I talked about a couple of options, buying one that was with a bad motherboard and all that type of stuff, but every time I got to go buy it, I thought about it too much, and that's the thing with eBay. If you think about it too much, there's a chance that somebody else is also thinking about it, and they're gonna scoop it up before you do. So that's exactly what happened. But I was able to find one for $60. It's just the screen with the back panel. I think that's a fair price. So $60 for this, $20 for what I paid for it. So we're up to $80. And then the bottom panel underneath, I did find one for 10 bucks. So $90. There's still money to be made if I was to flip it. But like I said, at this point, it's just for me. So we need to open this thing up, inspect it, because, well, eBay has warranty, and if you're outside that 30 days, and I tend to forget about projects, you can't return it. Oh, look, it's a Dell palm rest. I hope not. So this one is the silver one. It would have been nice to have the same gold one, but I mean, for $60, and they wanted like $20 more for the gold one. I'm not too caught up on that aesthetic, but let's inspect the screen. Everything looks okay, seems to be good. Normal wear and tear, I mean, what can you expect? So we're in good shape. And here's the thing, folks. When you're ordering a screen for this one, so this is the HP Pavilion X360 14M, I believe it's the DW0023DX. And there's a lot of different variations, but if you don't get the right one, you can accidentally order the one that doesn't have the touchscreen feature, or just a whole bunch of different features that don't work. So make sure you get the specific one for this. So this is in good shape. Let's put it somewhere where I don't drop it and mess it up. Now we're going to disassemble it just like we did before, taking out these strips. 2 in the top, 2 in the bottom, 1 in the middle. Yeah, and this piece right over here, I got a new one coming in, and it's crazy because I paid $10 for it, and it's the goldish looking one. So silver on the top, gold on the bottom. Hey, and our battery is in good condition, not swollen, holds a charge, works perfectly. Now, one thing I am going to do, just because I don't want to have tons of glass shards all over the place, safety, folks. that stuff gets in your skin, it don't feel good and it hurts. Just gonna go ahead and put some tape over here. We're not reusing this. This is going in the trash, but like I said, I don't want all these glass shards all over the place. I did get a couple from the last time I messed with it. Now, how do we take this thing apart? So, I think what we got to do is pull this. All right. Off to a good start. Let's go ahead and pop these up. These are for the Wi-Fi. And we have this little white connector over here. Can you see it? Well, it's black with a white. And let's see if we could just pop that out. All right. And folks, I already see a problem. This is either different or broken, which is not good. Let's finish taking this apart. Maybe we could switch the cable out. I'm not sure, but hey, well, you know, it's the gamble when you buy on eBay. That's a bummer. All right, let's see. Now, how do you delete? Oh, that's pretty nice. Look at that. This is the easiest screen replacement. Well, if you buy the whole shell, it's pretty easy. And I'll be honest with you folks, there's going to be no easy way to do that. Because you would have to pop this screen out. It has the adhesive. This is frustrating. And we're going to have to come back to that. We'll go ahead and set this thing up. I really do need to get one of those mats. Alright, so what we got to do. This heatsink needs to come off. Because we're definitely going to need new thermal paste. And what we're going to go ahead and use, hopefully, if I should have enough, we're going to use the PTM 7950. I've been using that stuff on pretty much everything, and it's been fantastic. It costs more, it's a pain in the butt to put on, but it's actually been worth it. So let's pry gently. Okay. As far as our dust and stuff, looks great. And our thermal paste, well, you know, it's seen better days. Still seems fresh, like wet. Maybe somebody was in here and they changed this and they didn't do it right. Let's go ahead and try to get all this dried up stuff off. All right, that looks pretty good. Now, typically you would take this thing apart and clean out the fan, but this fan looks perfect. I mean, this thing was well maintained or whatever the case may be. But I'm not going to mess with it because it looks good. And let's get out our 7950 PTM. Now the other thing with this stuff too is it is expensive. I think it was like $30 for a sheet roughly this big, 40 by 80. And the way I found it's best to do this is just line it up, kind of put a little crease on where you need to cut. It's okay if you're a little over, but you don't want it to be under. Cut it with a scissor. And it has a film which is right under here. Once you get one side off, just kind of put it on, center it. It's actually pretty decent. And then use the knife just to scoop off the top layer. And you gotta be careful because this is where you can damage it. And that's why it's good to cut it a little excess over. There we go. And now we need to do the same for this little one over here. And now the fun part. This is the part where I usually mess up, but I've been lucky lately. So now we could go ahead and pop this back in just like so. This is the easiest laptop I've worked on in quite a while. So before we finish this and I go inside and battle out with eBay because they sent me the wrong part. I am going to upgrade this memory. And this one is an 8 gig, 3200. I'm not sure if I have 3200 speeds, but we're going to find out. It's a different brand, but it should work. This is not a gaming PC, but it should be fine. But it does have 3200 speeds. If not, I do have two 8 gigs of the same brand with 2666. So we'll try this. We'll see what happens. If we got to come back in, it's not too hard. And now we got to figure out the screen thing. But before we do that, we actually got to try to fix this. As you can see, this thing is dented down. So I'm thinking we might be able to bend it. Now this is not ideal, but it should work. Oh yeah, a lot better. I mean, better than what it was. Yeah, that should be fine. I mean, obviously the aesthetic is not the best, but at least we'll be able to put that panel on. And even though it's a little mushroomed out over here, it will seal. You'll see this sticking out a little bit. I'm not too worried about that. Like I said, this is more for me than anything, so it's good enough. Now I am going to take the sticker off. And I know people were not thrilled about the idea that I take stickers off. I mean, I just think it looks cleaner. I'll leave the i5 10th Gen one on. We'll do that. But let's make this thing look more presentable and get off some of this gunk on here. Especially the trackpad. You really want to clean this. I had a customer who came in with his laptop one time. He's like, oh, my trackpad is bad and don't work. And he actually went out and bought the trackpad, or he ordered it. And I was ready to install it, but I looked at it. It was gummy and grimy. And once I cleaned it off, it worked perfect. So if your trackpad's not working on your laptop, clean it. And it typically will come around. I mean, considering this is actually not bad. This is pretty clean. This laptop is pretty clean compared to the ones I typically get in here. I'm just going to loosely put this on because I'm more curious to see on the fitment. Yeah, it's going to be a lot better. Before, it was kind of eating into here. So at least when I get the new one on, it'll sit better. But let's go ahead. Let's put this away. I'm going to end this part of the video here. When we come back, which might be probably a couple of days or a week, hopefully we should have a solution on why they sent me the wrong screen. So we'll be back. So I learned something, and the first things first, now the seller was awesome. I was able to get my money back. Reached out to the seller, explained to them the differences. That screen was for the 14 CW, a whole bunch of numbers and letter model, I can't remember. And mine is the 14 DW Darkwing Duck, a whole bunch of letters and number model, I still can't remember. And that's the screen I got is for the 8th gen. I need the one for the 10th gen. The connectors are totally different. And I explained that to the seller, and it was like, yep, our mistake. And they refunded my money back. Even though it says no returns, but eBay has that thing that if you sell something listed not as it should be, then you can't get your money back. So kudos to the seller. He was awesome. I shipped it back to him, got my money back, so that's awesome. But now I don't have a screen. Can't find one cheap enough. Like I said, it's just an issue of being cheap. I'll be honest, it's an issue of being cheap. So I did get the bottom piece for it. I'm gonna pop that together, mostly put this thing back together, fire it up, test the temps, because as you saw in the first part of this video, that the temperatures were ridiculous. We put some PTM 7950. Let's check the temps, put it back together, and then have some type of conclusion. And who knows, maybe I'll be able to find a screen cheap enough. And this is why boxes are your friend. So just kind of put everything in here, all in pieces. Yep, screws, all that type of stuff. Motherboard boxes, I keep them for a while because, I mean, you can fit a small laptop in them, other motherboard parts, and good for organization for storage. So that's kind of cool. So this was the bottom. And as you can see, yep. But I got that pretty cheap. I got this for 10 bucks on eBay. And I think this is the gold one. Not 100% sure. It doesn't look gold. I'm pretty sure the listing said that this was supposed to be the gold. Let's take a look at it. Maybe it's the lighting. Yeah, listing said this was supposed to be gold. Oh well, no big deal. Not like I have the screen or anything. So I figured while I have this thing apart, let's be a little unconventional and try to maybe tap these things in. I think this is working. DLM Tech Garage. Also, laptop body shop. Yeah, that's a lot closer. Okay. We could tap that in a little more. Oh, come on. Look at that. I mean, okay, so you can notice it, but still that brings it in closer. Folks, we doing body work. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. It's better than what it was, and it's good enough for who it's for. So at idle, temperature 46 degrees Celsius, spiking all up and down, spiked up to 63 degrees Celsius, and that was just me loading a couple of programs. So I don't remember exactly what the temperatures were before. I'll post it on the screen because it's been 2 weeks. It's a lot of stuff to remember. But let's go ahead. Let's open Cinebench R23, run us a test, and see if we got any better. So started our test and we had a spike to 92 degrees Celsius, but now the temperatures while running the test, 67, 66 degrees Celsius, and the fan is kicking on. Now what's interesting about it is this thing must have like a very silent fan curve, because when the test started, it spiked up to 92 degrees Celsius, but it quickly jumped down, but the fan still had not kicked on. And then when it started going to about 75, the fan started ramping up. They're still not even full beans. And we're sitting at 64, 65, so now the fans are going. I don't know if you can hear it. Yeah, not even 100%, but 64, 65 degrees Celsius. I think in the last video clip where we were running this before changing the thermal paste, we were hitting 90s. So that's huge. That's like almost a 30-degree difference. Obviously bad thermal paste. And I do find that TPM 7950 works really well. Definitely gets the job done. So this thing is quiet, under load, not thermal throttling, and just works perfect. But unfortunately, I don't have a screen for it. So let's wrap up this video. Kind of bummed about this one, but I don't know. Should I spend the money at $150, $160, get a screen for it? I'm impressed with this little laptop. Obviously the durability might not be there because I mean there's a lot of these on the interweb with broken screens and they sell for about $100, but then the screen costs more than the laptop, and that's just kind of unfortunate how things are in the whole repair industry. It's just that some parts just cost more than what things are worth. Kind of the same thing with automotive. Sometimes you have a part that costs more than what the car is worth. This one, the screen costs as much as what the laptop is worth. I'll keep browsing the interweb and just keep an eye out, and maybe I might get lucky, but this little guy, I will say, although not the latest and greatest specs, I mean the i5 10th gen, 256 gig M.2, and then now it has 16 gigs of DDR4. Still pretty cool laptop. Spiffy, performs well, light, portable, and then you know you can flip it and have tablet mode, which I think is pretty cool. And this thing runs so quiet after doing the thermal paste change. So I'll keep an eye out. We'll see what happens. But I mean, for now, I have a fancy keyboard with a computer built into it. That's pretty much what I have. But I have no internet. So if I wanted to, like I said, I could probably put some tape up here and tape the wires and run them out through here. I'm not sure, because this thing doesn't have, yeah, it doesn't have an Ethernet port, but it does have a USB-C. Maybe there's some type of way to run it. But either way, It needs a screen. I'm just gonna put this away until I find something. So with all that being said, comment down below, let me know your thoughts, concerns, criticisms. What are your opinions on these type of laptops? I mean, are they worth repairing? Are they worth anything? Should I just go ahead and just part it out like I planned, or just hold out until I find a screen? Your experiences with PTM 7950, and your thoughts on repairabilities on some of these laptops. This one is really easy to fix, but expensive. If you like this video, definitely hit the like button, subscribe if you're not, and as always, we'll see what junk I come up with next.